Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood.
Welcome back to another episode of Ruining Your Childhood, one sculpt at a time. Today we're sculpting a character from what I believe is an S-tier Adult Swim cartoon. I genuinely believe that these characters are the sole reason Italian brain rot exists today, and if you don't know what Italian brain rot is, count your blessings. So if you haven't figured it out yet and you completely missed the thumbnail and title, today we're going to be making Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. First things first, we're going to build Frylock's base structure. I start off with a piece of cardboard, then using a little bit of Hollywood movie magic, I break it into perfectly cut pieces. Not even David Blaine could explain what happened here today. Taking the front and back piece, I give it a slight curve to help match the classic Frybox shape we're going for. After this, I then can attach everything together using little bits of aluminum foil tape. The reason I'm using this tape is because it's oven safe. I think. I guess we'll find out together. With the structure done, I take some of the sweet creamy clay glue of the gods and coat the entire surface before laying down sheets of flattened out clay. I then take my X-Acto knife, going around slicing off all those little excess bits before repeating the process multiple times on the front, back, and sides. To make sure Frylock's looking all high and tight, I'm going to go ahead and take the back end of my paintbrush, rolling it over the surface to get rid of any of those lumpy bits. And to finish things off, I hit it with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and a paintbrush to erase my fingerprints and any evidence that I was here, and then we're off to the oven for its first bake. And with Frylock's Frybox back from the oven, we could start adding some of those details. Starting with his eyes, I'm going to be adding a couple dabs of that sweet delicious clay glue. I then can take those pre-baked eyes that I made off camera by taking a ball of clay and slicing it in half. Once his eyes are in their proper position, we could start building up his upper and lower eyelid. For this, I just take some flattened out pieces of clay, attaching it to the top and lower section of the eye, then just using my fingers to blend it in. I do the exact same thing for the other side, and then we could start on his nose. Starting off with a dank nug of clay, I go ahead and smash into a triangle shape, then kind of just do a little bit more forming and shaping. Taking the back end of my X-Acto knife, going over the top of the little side bits to add his nostrils. I'm going for that real pointy nose look. Doing a quick little side check here just to make sure we have things proportional, then we could pop it off and start on his eyebrow ridge. I take a couple of chunks of clay that are in the shape of a teardrop, applying those above the eyes, blending those in with my finger, then I take a silicone sculpting tool just to go over the eyebrow ridge just to make it a little bit more detailed. I do the same thing for underneath his eyes to build up his lower eye bags. I then take that same silicone sculpting tool to blend those bags in before using it to carve in little lower bag details. Once I was happy with how the eyes were looking, I could go ahead and take that nose that I made earlier and reapply it to the face, blending it in. Then we can move on down to start on his goatee. Off camera, I made this little custom made mustache bit that we're going to stick underneath his nose. Then using the side edge of my X-Acto knife, I'm going to carve in these little hairs. Now I do plan on using actual hair for his goatee, but this is just a nice little base that I can work off of. With his mustache section complete, we could go ahead and start on his chin. Taking a nice little chunk of clay, I'm going to go ahead and mold that until I get a nice smooth chin. Before attaching that to the bottom section of the face, I then roll out a little chunk of clay that looks like a juicy maggot before attaching it underneath the mustache to make up his lower lip. Using a silicone sculpting tool, I go ahead and blend in that poochy lip. We could start on the lower section of his goatee. Taking a flattened out piece of clay, I use my X-Acto knife to cut out these little half circles. I then apply that piece to the lower section of the face. Then using the same technique as before, I use the side of my X-Acto blade to carve in those little hair details. Since I've been absolutely manhandling him, we're going to go ahead and give him a quick rub down with some isopropyl alcohol to get rid of some of my fingerprints. And now that we just smoothed him out, it's time to kind of rough him up a bit by taking a variety of different sculpting tools, going over the face, adding little pores, wrinkles, folds, really anything to make this thing look a little bit more realistic. One of my favorite techniques for making skin look a little bit leathery is taking a ball stylus dipped in isopropyl alcohol and gently sliding it across the surface. Gives it a real nice leathered look. Happy with the detailing, we could go ahead and stick it in the oven for another bake. And with Frylock back and looking more baked than ever, we could go ahead and flip him around back to start on his little back gem. We start things off by semi-flattening out this little square of clay before roughly shaping out this jewel. Taking my X-Acto knife, I go ahead and slice off all four corners of this rectangle. Then taking the back side of my X-Acto knife, I go around adding these little marks to measure out where the jewel is going to start to slant down at. I meticulously go around each part, cutting off these little slanted sections to make it look a little bit more like a jewel. Once I get all the sides cut out, I can use the back end of my X-Acto knife to kind of help refine the shape a little bit more. Happy with how the jewel came out, we could go ahead and lay it on top of this little flattened out piece of clay before going around and meticulously cutting out this little back plate that goes behind the jewel. With the jewel and jewel plate completed, we could go ahead and stick that on the back of Frylock. Once I was happy with the position of the jewel, I went ahead and took my small ball stylus, pushing in these little rivets. Happy with how that looks, we could go ahead and stick it in the oven for another bake. And now that Frylock's back and completely baked, we could go ahead and start on the fries. I did pack the inside with some aluminum foil, then cover the top with this aluminum tape. This is just gonna give me something to stick the fries into a little bit later. As for those fries, I went ahead and took this block of clay, slicing these little slivers off, then slicing those into little fry shapes. I then repeat this process multiple times until I get a plethora of fries of different sizes and shapes. To make these look a little bit more like fries, I'm going to be taking a natural sponge and just dabbing it on the surface, giving the fries a little bit more texture and making them look a little bit more like fries. Then take a piece of armature wire, sticking it into the center of the fry. This is so I could actually attach it to the head. With all the fries done, we could give them a quick bake. Now that we're done with the sculpting process, we could go ahead and move on to the painting process. I went ahead and laid down a piece of cardboard because I am going to be trying out this new little airbrush that my sister got me. So big shout out to her. In the process of me trying to figure out how to use this thing, I forgot to hit record, so I got half the thing done already, but we didn't really miss too much. We're just painting it red. Once I got this thing completely covered in a nice thick red coat and let it completely dry, we could go on and start adding those more fine details. Starting with the eyes, we're going to be giving them this nice off-white color. The color that I'm using is called Parchment. Once I get a couple layers on the eyes, we can move down to painting his goatee black. Like I said before, I am going to be adding hair over top, but this just makes sure that none of that gray shows through. Flipping him over, we could start on his little jewel plate. We're going to go ahead and coat this in black first, and then following it up with silver. I feel like this just helps the silver pop out a little bit more. And yes, I do know that this part is actually gold, but the gold I have is incredibly translucent. It's basically just water at this point. So I start with silver, then I go over top of it with the gold. With the jewel guard complete, we could go ahead and move on to the jewel. I start off by painting the entire thing with this light blue, then I follow it up with silver on top. The silver is really just going to reflect the blue underneath to make it pop a little bit more. Originally I wanted to make this out of resin, but unfortunately I was running out of time, so maybe next time. With all the base coats complete, we could start making this thing come to life a little bit more by going in with some washes. For the face, I'm just going to be using a black wash, really watered down, that way it could sink into all of the little cracks and recesses, just to make all those little details pop. After wiping off the excess bits and letting it dry, we could go over top again with that initial red, but a little bit lighter to dry brush over top, just to make those details pop a little bit more. I was pretty happy with how the face was looking so far, but all we got to do is finish it up by adding the eyes. Even though in the cartoon his eyes are just straight up black, I am going to add a little bit of brown just to make them a little bit more interesting. Then I finished it off with a high gloss Mod Podge. Now I thought I was done painting, but then I realized I forgot to add his eyebrows. I don't do it until seconds before I do the glamour shots, so you'll see him at the end. But for now the face is done, so we could go ahead and work on those fries. Now this low key was probably my favorite part of the entire build, was painting these fries to look realistic. To start things off, I went in with a color called Unbleached Titanium. It's this off-white color that has a yellowish tint to it. Once I was done with that initial coat, we could go in with this color called Dark Flesh. It's this almost orangish yellow color, kind of like The Simpsons.
Speaking of The Simpsons, who should I sculpt next?
After we have those initial base colors down, we could go in with an orangish brown, going over the tips and sides of the fry to kind of make it a little bit more crispy. And to finish things off, I go over with a dry brushing to kind of cut back some of those dark parts and blend it all together. I then go through painstakingly painting a bunch of fries until I got myself a nice fistful of delicious fries here. What fast food place do you think has the best French fries? Now that we got all the painting done, we can start adding that hair to the goatee. I start off by using this stuff called Fabric Fusion. It's this fabric glue, but it happens to work really well with this fake hair. It has it blend almost like perfectly into the sculpture itself. After I get a nice thick coat, I could go ahead and lay the hair on top, then using a sculpting tool, that way it doesn't stick to my fingers, I press the hairs down. His mustache was looking pretty mighty, so we are gonna go ahead and trim that off real fast before moving down to the lower section of his goatee. For this, I just repeat the same process, taking that Fabric Fusion, putting it all across where the hair is gonna be, then I take the hair, kind of fan it out a little bit, and then just lay it right on top. Once the glue fully dries, I could then take my scissors, giving it that signature pointed shape, before taking all these little fries and inserting them into the top. And with some last second surprise detailing and a little bit of assembly, we're on to those glamour shots. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below of who you would like to see me sculpt next. I'll see you next time.